Tracy Brooks, the newlyweds?
Yeah, we won't delve too far into the private life of Kazarian. But some rumours of some pics getting sent around and some affairs with ex-girlfriends or whatnot from the porn industry. But from what I know, apparently Tracy Brooks was released, so she said, I think, because they just didn't have anything for her at the time. And she didn't really seem too pushed about it. Likewise with Sean Morley going to the CMLL in Mexico.
Yeah, I believe it could well be. It's certainly in Mexico. But Roxy, of course, another one who's now gone. That's no surprise because Roxy's been off the TV for quite a while now. I mean, we haven't seen her, and perhaps her time away. And then when she came back, she saw a completely different locker room and a totally new regime. Maybe she realised that the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, it's sad to see. I think it must be tough for a lot of the talent that aren't getting used, like Roxy, and even a lot of the X Division. Jay Lethal comes to mind. I mean, you know, I can't even remember the last time I saw Jay Lethal wrestle.
It's been too long. I think the last time, and I may be wrong on this because wrestling fans have short memories, you know that, but I think the last time we saw him was in that Invitational, the Jay Lethal Invitational, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart defeated him, and that was 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. I couldn't even tell you how long ago that was. I gotta say, I mean, there are fans of the X Division out there, but, you know, there are a lot of things about TNA, especially maybe a year, 2 years ago, that were very obvious. We all knew that Don West eventually had to come off commentary. It wasn't going to fly with those audience figures. It just wasn't. Anybody could see that. There were a lot more things like that, and still things that maybe need to be changed. And I think there's going to be a lot more changes. Certainly Eric Bischoff says that everybody has to earn their spot on the new roster at TNA Wrestling.
Yeah, you know, for the most part, things are okay, I think. If you look at it, it's just a couple of things that need to be fixed. The Abyss thing, definitely. If they could somehow find a middle ground where people like the Pope getting over and Ken Anderson, that's all good. I like that stuff. Generation Me, they're getting their TV time, and rightly so. They're really great tag team. But if they can find a happy medium somewhere between giving Hogan his Hogan time and a little bit of Bischoff, actually a lot of Bischoff. I like Bischoff, and somewhere in the middle, just a happy balance of not too much of the nap stuff and not too much of the old school TNA, but just a happy medium where everybody, I mean, again, it's probably tough with such a big roster of people, but that's what they need to do, in my opinion.
It seems like they have a hell of a job still to do. As many changes as they make, it seems like something else shows up as being, well, not right for the audience that perhaps they're trying to attract. I can only say about the knockouts, I mean, it looks like that they may be trying to strike a balance between the women that can actually work and the women that look good. And that's not a bad thing, but just don't lose that emphasis on the real women wrestlers. That's the news coming out of the TNA revival, if you like. TNA becoming a brand new product each and every week. It seems like we're looking at almost a different program. Only the Impact Zone remains the same. It seems like we're speaking a lot about TNA this week, but it is the big story as TNA goes live this coming Monday night on Spike TV, and right here as well, somewhere, probably a copyright infringement, but then that's up to the site to decide. Justin.tv, come right here to this website, and you're going to see TNA live and a lot more wrestling live to put it bluntly, but you're just going to have to check out the wrestling section here on justin.tv, and you'll find us taping the podcast here live. It is Wrestledope.com, and more TNA news. TNA President Dixie Carter said today that the company has renewed Sting's contract, and he will be appearing on this Monday night's live TNA Impact. An incredible coup.
It is. What they do with him will be anyone's guess. But I don't know if anyone really cares too much for Sting. I mean, he's been off TV for quite a few weeks, and has anyone really batted an eyelid? You know, he showed up in the rafters on the Monday, January 4th Impact, right?
Yeah.
No explanation why he didn't continue forward with any kind of a storyline. He was just up there. And my guess, actually watching that live Impact, I thought it was just old stock footage of him up in the rafters. That
I think you might actually be right there. I don't think he was there on that night.
Yeah. So again, what's it all about? Why have him turn up? Who's the who's he gonna? And that's they might do something creative with him and put him in with Flair and go old school with it, which would be kind of cool to see. Sting and Hogan. But
on that first live Monday special, when Sting, as you say, I believe you're right, with that stock footage cut in, he wasn't there that night. If he was, it certainly have used him in some capacity. But that's what we have to say about TNA. Let's move on to some other wrestling news now, and a very sad one. Wrestling legend Angelo Poffo, the father of Randy Savage and Larry the Genius Poffo, he died at age 84. A message on Lanny Poffo's official website read, "It's with heavy heart we announce the loss of wrestling legend Angelo Poffo, who passed away peacefully in his DE's sleep this morning, age 84. Our condolences, of course, to the family and friends of the late Angelo Poffo.
Yeah, sad and tragic loss to the business. Both his sons were great in-ring performers in their day, with two really, I suppose, two gimmicks that were over very much so between Macho Man and the Genius. And yeah, it's sad news for the wrestling world.
Sad news to see that Angelo Poffo passing away, and one would hope that Randy and indeed Lanny are feeling all right at this time. Of course, we haven't heard from Randy in a while. You can check out Lanny, in fact. He does a podcast on, what's that show? I can't remember the name of it. Who's Doing Something? Who's Slamming Who? That's the one. You can hear Lanny's podcast on that website. Check it out. It's good. They're on Podomatic, just like us. Who's Slamming Who.podomatic.com, and us, Wrestledope.podomatic.com. Don't forget us in all this. We need the listeners as well. We're brand new, our second week ever, and a little bit quicker than TNA. We took the program live. But there you go. That's just putting ourselves over. Someone has to do it, right?
We have to do it, yeah. And fingers crossed we will maintain our live slot each and every week for all of you folks out in the internet world and on Justin.tv.
Well, the best part of being live is we can find out if anything new has happened, and that's exactly what we're going to do now as we hit some of the dirt sheets. We've pretty much gone through some of the biggest headlines this week, and it's now time to see what has been happening in the world of wrestling, and perhaps then that will make the final podcast. You see, there will be some edits to this. You'll get more here on the Justin.tv live stream than you will on the average podcast. We will cut it down, and without a doubt, we're going to be straight in there with the newest news, as I've got a shocking one for you. Stephanie McMahon apparently pregnant once again.
Oh boy. Trips doing the business, even though he's a busy man. More people for the McMahon Empire, and I think it'll be interesting to see when the takeover happens. I don't know how many years Vinny's got left in him, and Shane O'Mac obviously not a part of anything anymore. So will Trips and Steph reign supreme It'll be interesting to see.
It looks like there are two new heir, or at least one new heir apparent, and another heir apparent that is already with us. Triple H now with 2 children, and it looks